Tom, perhaps an element of irony that the greatest exponent of this expression, the harder you work, the luckier you get, is a consequence of the results of the national 2-year-old sale, which by all accounts are really quite spectacular.
Wonderful advice from a wonderful man, and it really was his week. Mr. Player, Gary Player and his stud Marianne had a fantastic week. Started off with our golf day to raise funds for the horse care units, which went off very well. And then he proceeded to have the top colt and the top filly and be the top consigner. So, you know, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, and you get what comes to you, you know, and he really is trying his hardest to help us with our export protocols and to make our industry work. So it was just reward for him.
Obviously, we do see an upsurge in the fortunes of sales globally, but I think to a certain extent that the TBA's results are just a little bit out of the ordinary.
Andrew, we are probably one of the strongest sales of the year, which just was unbelievable. To have a median price increase of 50% at this sale, it was truly phenomenal, and I was not expecting it. And it is a great sign of the future for us, and it's good that money is still pouring into this industry against all odds, and it's fantastic to have the support of some of the leading buyers, from small to big, from big to small, and an average price of 100,000 Rand at the 2-year-old sale, that's unheard of, never been seen before.
I think we have to be hugely respectful of the endeavours of one Michael de Kock this past weekend, and of course the son of Magog, the Apache, who was so desperately unlucky to lose his race in the boardroom. It was a fabulous weekend for TBA sale graduates.
Absolutely. Well, obviously the Apache is one of our poster pin-up boys of the 2-year-old sale, and you know, I got up especially to watch that race on YouTube, and I was very sad, but you know, there was honor in defeat, and he's going to go on and do great things all around the world, and it's just fantastic for us to compete over there, albeit with a very short string of horses, but that hopefully will change soon. And listen, people are filling the pipeline, and that's what happened at this sale. And it was incredibly positive for breeders. But overall, I think a really strong message for the hard-working breeders out there.
For the guys that are looking for vital statistics, give us the top price colt, the top price filly, the average, that type of stuff.
The top price colt was a Silvano from Gary Player for $1 million, and the Yates filly, the first one ever to be sold in South Africa, for 450,000 Rand from Gary Player. The aggregate was 26 million Rand, which was up 30% on last year. The average was up 30% up from 69 to 98,000 Rand. And the median, which is the figure that really makes me kind of excited, is up 50% to 60,000 Rand. So overall, a fantastic result, and yes, very exciting.
And of course, it's a beautiful time of the year to hold a sale, because the weather is very, very good for horses, even though it's a little bit nippy. And of course, the Equus Awards gets everybody into town for this particular sale.
Andrew, it did dovetail with the Equus Awards very well, especially for the out-of-towners. I changed the format this year to have it on a Thursday and a Friday. And overall, the feedback has been great. But I do ask anyone out there to contact me with any feedback. You know, I do take things on board, and I want to make sure we are doing the job that serves the whole industry. So anyone who's got some negative or positive feedback, that'd be great. But, you know, the numbers worked, and that's the most important thing.
Finally, the type of money that was raised from a rather smallish field, but still a very positive and a very concentrated field in the golf that transpired at the Royal Johannesburg Golf Club.
Andrew, we raised upwards of 50,000 Rand that will be distributed amongst the horse care units. So it was a great result. We obviously had some of the major studs, Fastfontein and Matanshoek, likes of New Turf Carriers, E-Pole, and a range of supporters that were just, you know, they're just fantastic that they give back into the industry without question. And obviously having Gary Player there was a bit of a coup for us. And it's all part of us, you know, making sure that the circle of life gets managed properly. And I think it's very important when we're selling that we are giving back.
To put the lid in it, talking about giving back, no man gave back more, other than Gary Player, of course, than Sean Terry, who paid 20,000 Rand for a beautiful montage of all the majors that Gary Player won.
Jeez, absolutely. It was a shock, I have to tell you, and thanks to Sean Terry. It's been inscribed by a quote from Gary Player that I think Sean's kids and grandchildren will look at and be very proud of. Choked me up, and I have to tell you, Sean earned the 20,000 Rand, so thank you very much to him.